there was a flagrant one that Caitlin Clark was called on Angel Reese.
Yes.
I
So,
loved it.
as we saw, 20, 10, and 10, and 4 blocks. Clark was also given a flagrant one on what looked like just an ordinary hard foul.
A flagle bagel.
On
Sorry.
Angel Reese that almost led to Reese swinging at Clark before teammate and WNBA All-Star Aaliyah Boston stopped Reese. Both were given technical fouls on the play. After the game, Clark was critical of the flagrant foul call, saying it's a take foul to put them at the free throw line. I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am. And I want to show you this clip real quick of this foul. So there it is right there. And she kind of goes after, and I'll just kind of rewind it a little bit. You see Aaliyah Boston kind of catch what looks like to be the beginning of maybe a little bit of a swing by Angel Reese. Just right here. Sorry. Just kind of caught her. And this is just kind of the beginning, guys.
My dog wants your pussycat.
Yeah, but if you actually show 10 seconds before, you'll see Angel Reese shove Caitlin Clark's player. So
no, that's my point. I want you to see this. So you're seeing the girl in red underneath the net is falling to the ground. That's because we got the NBA Jam two-hand shove that Karl Anthony Towns was using in the last series, done by Angel Reese to try to illegally get position for a rebound. Wasn't called. Get a weird bounce, and Caitlin Clark just fouls her hard, so she has to go to the line. And they turned it into quite a big thing. Obviously, it made the rounds on social media and to all the favorite talking heads of yours in the sports world, including your buddy Stephen A. Smith. Errol, dial it up.
Let's be honest right now. If it's not Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, why would anybody not care? I mean, nobody would care. Honest to God. Now, Angel Reese has some kind of hatred for, obviously, Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark is a superstar and she believes she's just as good as Caitlin Clark. As Angel Reese is getting many, many different endorsements, and I'm not taking shots at her and her greatness, Caitlin Clark is growing even faster in the WNBA because of what she delivers and what she gives to the WNBA. Unfortunately, when it comes to sports, there's always there's a 1A and there's a 1B. And Angel Reese is always going to be a 1B. And in her eyes, because she's the 1B, she's always going to have hatred more for Caitlin Clark. And she's the one that's been delivering the punches in the offseason about Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark's this and Caitlin Clark's that, and she's not what she says she is. I think it's ridiculous. The girl goes out there and plays the game of basketball. She's bringing in money. She's bringing in more endorsements for the league. And every single girl that isn't for Caitlin Clark is a hater. And I think right now Angel Reese can't stand her because she is a Caitlin Clark hater. Is it a flagrant? No, it's not a flagrant. If you watch it again, if anybody should have gotten a flagrant foul, it should have been Angel Reese for what she did before that. And the fact is, Angel Reese just wants to be the aggressor, the enforcer right now in the WNBA. And for some reason, I really do believe they're both behind this. I really think they're a lot more closer than people think. I think they're out there. I think they're out there to sell tickets. I think they're out there to do. No. I think it's Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. That's what I think it is. These are two guys that everybody thought hated each other, and one came from Michigan State and the other one came from Indiana, and then all of a sudden they were back and forth in the NCAA, and then they went into the NBA, and one played for the Celtics and one played for the Lakers. But really, they loved each other, and they had nothing but respect for one another. I think the same about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. It's all a selling tactic, and the WNBA loves it, and that's what I think. I just think it's all about selling tickets.
Let's not forget when, and you know my stance on women's basketball, Fish, but let's not forget when Caitlin Clark came into the league, she was getting absolutely annihilated.
Yeah.
Just watched a highlight video of her getting checked multiple times, thrown to the ground, and she popped back up. got to the line, did her thing, and continued to play. But all of a sudden, she decides to dish it back, and now it's considered, whoa.
And when she hit the ball, it wasn't like she pushed her down. She went for the ball.
Look, it was a hard foul. She said it
gave
was
her
a
a hard
hard foul.
But then how about when Angel Reese went to the line and missed the free throw? And apparently the whole, now correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently the whole stadium erupted like happy. Now the WNBA is considering this racist.
So from my understanding, and I didn't really want to focus too much on that part of the story because
it's part
that is
of it.
obviously a part of the story. But
because that's bullshit.
Just to kind of like talk about it briefly, there's more than that was being said towards Angel Reese, and in Midwest America, you can use your imagination what was being said towards her if you're supporting, Caitlin Clark. However, that happens at games. People talk smack.
I got a question.
Sadly,
I got a question.
Sadly, it does. But at the same time, if my team, if the team that I'm going against misses a free throw, I'm gonna be pumped.
My question, I want to know Tommy's opinion because we never get a chance to let him speak, and I want to know his opinion between this Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I know he's a basketball fan. My question to you guys are, the WNBA has never had this before. They've never had a person that's beloved and somebody that believes she's just as popular and just as talented as the other person, but now it's become a racist situation, and now it's become this against that. I mean, honestly, if you don't think that this is a good selling tactic for the WNBA to bring in money, then I don't know what you guys are watching. This is great for girls basketball.
You don't want to sell it that way. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to create a negativity around the sport, and it's
not negativity. How is it negative?
But you know what? It's why it's negative.
Why?
Because they're turning it into a social justice
but we're
issue.
We're looking at it that way, and a lot of writers are looking at it that way. Maybe they're not looking at it that way. Maybe they're just looking at it as another selling point for a product that's trying to be sold. So I disagree.
If they are, they're doing a great job of it, I guess. But for me, I don't like watching this kind of negativity. I would like them to get back to doing what they're doing and just focus on the fact that she put up a 20-point triple-double in the first game of the season with 4 blocks, and she's, 6'1", right? Something like that.
Well, I think to your point, Fish, too, though, it's the same thing. Like, now you got guys in the media going at it and slandering each other's families, and, it doesn't need to happen, man. It's like, it makes zero sense to me. Like, I don't care if you're purple, green, yellow. If you're good and have a good game, I don't care. Like, what are we talking about here?
Tommy.
Yeah, and you guys.
Yeah, and I just want to. My quick thing is that I want to focus, of course, on what Errol said. Of course, the fact is that this is great competition. Any competition is good competition, and the fact that we're even seeing, and like you said, Fish, the fact that this made its rounds, the fact that some of the biggest talking heads are talking about it, the fact is that we weren't in the same position 10 years ago, and the fact is that although some people might have more of a hatred toward Caitlin Clark, more of a hatred toward Angel Reese, the fact is that they're actually talking about them, and the league knows what they're doing, pitting them against each other for the first game of the season. So, this is great for the game, honestly.
I agree with him. I think this is a selling tactic, and I really do believe Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they don't hate each other. I think they like each other more than you think. I just think that they have to go out there and play the cards, and that's just the way sports is. It's competitive nature. Come on, man. I can name a lot of guys that said they hated each other just because they played By the way, Bill Laimbeer, who a lot of people hated, and he was evil on the basketball court. I'm not going to mention a person that I know that played in the NBA against him, said that when Bill Laimbeer was in the locker room after the game, he was one of the nicest people you'll ever meet and have a conversation. You can go out to dinner with him and hang out with him. So it's not what you see. I think it's what they're selling. So I disagree. I think it's more. I believe there's something.
I have not seen any evidence, the other way. But I guess it'll all play out for us, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again.
Have you watched Mike Tyson fight over the years? Mike Tyson.
Well, unfortunately, I watched the last one.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Mike Tyson in the past. There are stories over the years that certain guys that he fought, They hate each other. He would swing at him. One of them is Lennox Lewis. Remember Lennox Lewis? He swung at him. They were fighting at the press conference. They were best friends. These guys were so close. They trained together for the Olympics. They were so close, but that's what they were selling to the public. So it's all a selling.
Are you trying to tell me
standpoint.
when he told Lennox he was going to eat his babies,
100%.
he didn't mean it?
100% he didn't mean it. As a matter of fact,
He
who
didn't
inducted Lennox Lewis and called Lennox Lewis to the Hall of Fame? It's Mike Tyson.
I
Mike
guess so.
Tyson.
That's
Mike
cool.
Tyson, just so you know. Mike Tyson was the one he picked to introduce him to the Boxing Hall of Fame. Why? Because they're best friends.